For joining me on Terror Machine. This is your monthly love reading for the month of June 2017, and this will be for the sign of Capricorn. So let me go ahead and give you an overall message of what you'll be working with for the month when it comes to your aspect of love. Okay, you got the card of empowerment. So in a love reading for singles, it's saying kind of when you get into a relationship, make sure you have control in your relationship, that you can stand your ground and be a fair equal when it comes to you finding a companion that's going to kind of be your equal or your match when you're trying to build a relationship on one. Don't, and it's also, I'm getting the feeling is, don't find a person that will kind of take your power away or try to weaken you. Once you get into a relationship with them, they become overbearing, or they become a type of person that would kind of let you sit on the backside and have no say so of how to control the relationship, or your say so in the relationship is not being kind of worthy, or they just ignore it. If you already coupled up, it's saying that you both need to respect each other's individuality. You have to respect each other's words when it comes to having input of how to make the relationship better, and not just let your husband or wife shine your words away when you bring it up, if it's a certain concern or a certain benefit that you want to bring into the relationship. So that was what Capricorn will be working with for the month of June when it comes to being in a relationship. So now I'm going to get some cards to see where this is going to head for the month of June. Okay, what you have in the center of reading is the Nine of Swords. So, Nine of Swords, if you're single, you could be meeting a person that may be an air sign, and either you keep thinking about the person all the time, or you just got in a relationship with this person and you're having some kind of anxiety, or kind of some kind of weird thought about the person, and it is keeping you up, and you kind of mulling over what this person is either doing, or what's how this person is saying stuff to you, that kind of has you concerned and has you worried, or you just got in this relationship and you're worried about so much of the mechanics of the relationship, and it has you kind of worried or thinking about, is you making the right move, or is this the right person for you, or is this person a person that you want to carry in the future or marry, or it's just that this person may be bringing some kind of anxiety or worry to you when you get in a relationship with them. Maybe they present themselves a certain way and you decided to go and move forward with that person. Then after a while, you kind of, it's like thinking back on it and saying, okay, maybe this person isn't the right person for me. So it's having you meal over certain stuff that's going on when you meet this person, or you bringing that person in your life, or maybe somebody having this thought about you, that they're having a super concerned or milling over or bringing anxiety about how they're acting with a relationship with you. If you already coupled up, it's just saying that both of you are actually overthinking certain aspects in your relationship, and it could be from outside sources or something within your relationship that you both are not on the same page or thought about it, and you may be thinking about your companion may be thinking about one thing too much and you thinking about one thing too much, and you cannot be in sync together and come to a conclusion to solve whatever is causing some kind of anxiety for you in the relationship. What you have at the bottom of the um, reading is the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is usually a happy card. So, um, if you're single, what it's saying is you may meet somebody that may be a water sign that may could be a better candidate, or they can bring you a certain type of happiness that you want, or because you overthinking stuff, you're not looking at the relationship. Maybe you have this anxiety of looking over stuff all the time and it's keeping you up, but in a real facet of everything, you're in a good relationship and you're just not recognizing it because you always in your head trying to analyze it and trying to find the negative in it. Or somebody can be thinking this if they're in a relationship with you. Or when it comes to the Ten of Cups, is saying that you have hit your pinnacle of finding what you need at this time when it comes to being in a relationship. It does bring you some happiness, it does bring you some kind of emotional fulfillment that you feel nurtured and loved and cared for. But for some reason there's something in your head that's making that thought of positivity shut down when you're in this relationship on one. If you already coupled up, it's saying that your relationship is at its perfect peak. You do understand each other, you do respect each other's boundaries, you do understand each other to the point that even if some strife is coming to you or you overthinking about certain things that's going on in your relationship, they're not really there. They're just they're contradictory to what is really physically going on in your life at this time. And maybe you're trying to craft more and more kind of stuff into the relationship without really thinking about it and saying, oh, our relationship is really perfect. Maybe I'm doing too much to it, or maybe I'm putting too much more stuff on it. And when you do that, sometimes it ruins the relationship. It starts to send it into a reversal pattern. Then all this negative stuff starts to come up and wash out all the positive that you have in your relationship if you're already married or joined up with somebody. What you have in the past is the Two of Cups in reverse. So for singles, Two of Cups in reverse is maybe at a point in the past, everybody that you was meeting, you felt like you could not get a connected bond to, or somebody was thinking that about you when they come and talk to you. They feel like it was something about you that was emotionally, I ain't gonna say unstable. It was something emotionally that was not clicking with that other person, or you met somebody that you was kind of into, but emotionally you was not really driven towards that person because the person may acted a certain way or said something to you that kind of make you second guess your feelings about that person. And maybe somebody thinking that about you, or you are thinking about that of somebody in the past that you was dealing with or trying to make a happy union with. If you already coupled up, it says that in the past it was just saying that you both was practicing a certain thing in your relationship of being sort of disconnected from your emotions of each other. Maybe it was something from the outside, maybe it was a family issue, maybe it was a work issue, but you had shut down your feelings towards your companion, or your companion did that to you because they had to be more in their head. Basically, when it came to certain aspects of your relationship, they had to think about it more from a head space and then a heart space, so they couldn't kind of link up to tell you their emotions, because they was it wrapped up in another aspect, something more physical or something more mental. And maybe they got stuck with the nine of swords being in the middle. Maybe they got stuck in that pattern, and they just don't know how to break it, because they keep running on this train of thought that may later down the line ruin the relationship that y'all had built together, because they're overanalyzing, or you're overanalyzing something that's in the relationship. What you have above you is the king of chalices in the upright. So the king of chalices is saying that for singles, you could be meeting somebody that is emotionally together. They think about stuff, always being concerned about whoever they're going to be in a relationship with. They always put that person's feelings first before they make sure they put the other person's feelings first, because they know if they don't, something is going to throw their emotions off, and then they start to be disconnected with getting into a relationship. You may be going through this period, or somebody may be thinking this about you, that you are emotionally stable, and you have, when it comes to a relationship, emotionally, you know what you want when it comes to a relationship. If you already coupled up, it's saying that if, towards the end of the month, you or your companion will eventually start showing more emotion towards you, or being more affectionate towards you, because they may realize that they was too much in their head over kind of petty stuff, and they can probably see that anxiety of how they being in their head is affecting you, so they deciding to kind of get out of that mode, or break that pattern of always worrying about stuff, and showing more attention to you, because they can see it's wearing on the relationship, or they can see it wearing it physically on your face. Like they say, you can wear stress on your face. They can see how them overthinking stuff is causing you something, so they're gonna kind of wash that feeling out by being more emotional. Maybe you're doing this with your companion, or your companion is doing this with you. The last card you have is the ace of pentacles in the upright. So the ace of pentacles in the upright saying, if you're single, you could have a suitor that comes in that has, they're pretty good with having some kind of financial stability with themselves. Is one of those things that they is about their money, and they always have a drive about themselves of kind of obtaining money, and they don't let money affect their relationship. They may be thinking this about you, or you may be thinking about this from somebody you meet, but it's saying that this person that you meeting could be a earth sign, but they basically is about their money, and they always would, that's one of their key aspects that helps them craft their relationships. To know, the first thing they want to know is that you're financially stable, that you're not dependent on them for actual money. And you may be looking for somebody like that too, that you want to find a candidate or a person to be in a one-on-one relationship with, and you want that person to have their own. Basically, you don't want somebody to kind of bleed your money out, or you have to finance everything. So it's saying that you're looking for a candidate that has their own when it comes to something financial. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that you and your companion is going to work on a issue that could be affecting your relationship. And this is what I'm hearing, that one of the things that was causing a lot of stress in your relationship was something that was more physical. It could have been a whole mess of bills that you didn't expect and it got him thinking more about that, or it was something on an earthly base that kind of threw your companion in this kind of repetitive loop of thinking about it and forgetting everything else that's going on. But it's saying that you and your companion is working on tying that one physical issue out of the relationship so you don't have to think about it, and it does not have to bring these negative patterns into your relationship. And one of the things you could be crafting with your companion is a way to get more stable, or finding new ways of bringing money into your relationship, or savings, or building, so you and your companion don't have to worry about that aspect of your relationship, and you can focus more on the more emotional tie that you're building with your companion. So let me go ahead and get a couple clarifiers, so, and see what was the nine of swords. make make see what these nine of swords was. The nine of swords, you got the three of wands. So it was basically the person, if you're single, what it was is whoever you was meeting, it was showing me that you met somebody or somebody met you, and they saw you as another as a prospect on something they was already building in their relationship life. They probably had different options out there, and maybe that was bringing some anxiety to you because you knew this person had other people chasing them, or they knew that you had other people chasing them. And it seems like to me that the anxiety that was coming from this person, or you knew that you was not the only candidate. That's what it was. You knew this person may have been a good person, but you was worried of how you fit in the fold when that person was trying to get into a one-on-one relationship with you, because it was other suitors there, or they had other people that were interested in them, but that person was not trying to move towards them because they was trying to stay neutral to kind of filter out who was going to be the best one for them and who was not going to be the best one for them, or they was just sitting back waiting to see who was going to be the first one to make their move towards them for a relationship. They could be thinking this about you, or you was thinking this about somebody else that you was going after. If you was already coupled up, the anxiety that was in your relationship, it was saying that either you or your companion was trying to set up different things to try to help the relationship, and they was kind of having anxiety over it because they didn't know which one was going to come in at what time, and how would the timing of that coming in would affect your relationship. They was setting up a lot of stuff, or they were setting up different things that could help the relationship. They just did not know what how it was going to come in, and how once it came in, how you was going to feel about it once it came in and it adopted itself into your relationship. And the second card you have is the Eight of Cups in the upright. If you're single, it's just saying that one of the candidates that was the three, either this is from you or this other person that was coming at you, had already kind of made a decision to drop somebody out of their fold or walk away from somebody. So it's also saying is maybe this person was talking to you and they was already in a relationship, and they was at a verge of getting rid of the person that they was previously with, because that person, they was probably tired of that person, or that person was emotionally draining to them, so they went and found something else, and you could have been a part of of this person trying to find someone new and break away from somebody old. You could be doing this and saying, "Oh, I'm tired of the one I had. Let me go and find somebody else. We're about to break up, and I'm not going to deal with another person like that." And you was ready to break up with somebody you was currently seeing and trying to put yourself back on the market, or somebody was coming at this to you. If you already joined up or married with somebody, they it's saying that your companion was ready to walk away from certain things that were affecting your relationship or your bond one on one. It was maybe too much for them to deal with at the time, because they knew it was affecting your relationship, so they was making a decision to drop something that they had so much options on, because three of wands is options, and then this one is just you tired of the options that was there. They was ready to make a certain move in the relationship or bring in something that could be benefiting the relationship, but they knew they had to walk away from something, and maybe them walking away from whatever they was trying to adopt into your relationship to make it better was causing them anxiety, because they may not filtered in how you was going to feel if they came and told you, I dropped this for a certain reason, and they didn't know your reaction, and that was probably causing them some kind of anxiety. So let me go ahead and see what the two of cups in the past was. One card flipped out, and the card that flipped out is the fool. So if you was single, it, it's saying that one of the people that you decided that you weren't going to link on, and I'm gonna really be honest, the person that you was not linking with, that you may had a possibility of being in a relationship with, it was saying that the person was acting stupid. Basically, the fool usually goes around and they are a person that's like free nilly and don't think about nothing, and kind of goofy, and the person was probably goofy, silly, childish, nothing concrete, nothing stable, nothing that you wanted to um be attached to for anything in a relationship. And maybe that was a turn off, and you couldn't find an emotional link with the person because the person was acting too silly, too goofy, just too out there, and it was like too much for you, because you was looking for somebody with the ace of pentacles. You was looking for somebody more grounded. You wasn't looking for a a man child or a woman child, or you weren't looking for nothing like that. You weren't looking for goofiness in your relationship. You wanted to build a relationship with somebody that was more concrete, not just all over the board. If you were already coupled up, it's just saying that maybe some of the anxiety that was brought on you by your companion, they was looking at the situation, they wasn't looking at it from a concrete standpoint, basically, and it kind of got you frustrated, worried about what was, it got you worried about, oh, this, your companion is not looking at this for real. He's being all up in the air about it, or this situation's a serious matter, and he's throwing he or she is throwing it off, just taking it, having no care with it. When you was thinking more that it should have been more concrete thought, and that's what was bringing the anxiety in. And the last card you had was the Emperor. So the Emperor was maybe for singles. The Emperor is a person that has a lot of control. So maybe this person, like I said with the empowerment card, maybe you met another person, or they was looking at you and saw you as a control freak. And maybe that's another reason that you weren't linking up with one of these options that you had out here with the three, that you met one was goofy and you met one that was a control freak. And they may be thinking this about you, or you was thinking this about somebody else, that that they was a control freak and you didn't want to deal with them, and that's why the empowerment card is maybe this person that was too much of a control freak was snatching your individual power that you carried and want to offer to a relationship, and you felt like, wow, you're doing too much, you all over me, or you eating my space up, or you're not letting me breathe, or whatever. Now somebody can be thinking this about you, or you thought this about somebody that you was getting with, but it's showing me that the one that you was not probably connected with, it was also a control freak. And and you didn't just decide to go there because you knew that if you got in a relationship with that person, it may have got worse than what that person was presenting to you, and you kind of just shunt the person off or dropped them, and just told the person, I'm not feeling you, you're way too controlling on the stuff. If you already coupled up with somebody, what it's saying is that maybe your companion or you was trying to be too controlling at one point in the past. They was trying to take the him on everything that was happening in your relationship, good or bad. And that can bring a lot of anxiety too. They was just going to eat the burden on everything, and because they wanted to exert their power in the relationship, and it probably brought you anxiety, or it brought your companion anxiety for trying to be a control freak on every aspect of your relationship, when at times he should have let it go, or could have needed to play the fool and stop thinking about stuff too much and just let it roll, or but they was being a control freak when it come to every little aspect when it came to your one-on-one union, and it kind of caused the person eventually a kind of worrying about stuff because they had too much stuff on the plate, because they choose to adopt all that stuff, and they brought their own anxiety on when it came to you and your relationship or your one-on-one bond with them. So I hope you like this reading. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Go ahead and leave your comments at the bottom. You can thumb the video up or down, and I'll talk to you later.